There are moments in life when a feeling arrives quietly, without noise, without force, yet it refuses to leave your heart. You may not notice it at first, but it stays with you through the day, follows you into the silence of night, and gently asks for your attention. This message is not here to rush you or frighten you. It is here because your soul already sensed something before your mind could explain it. What you are experiencing now is not random. It is a pause created for understanding, reflection, and inner awareness. Sometimes, those who have left this world do not leave our lives completely. Their presence does not return as words or faces, but as emotions, memories, and subtle reminders that surface when we least expect them. You might have noticed thoughts about a specific person appearing more often lately. Not loudly, not painfully, but gently, like a whisper that keeps returning. This is not about loss. This is about connection that continues beyond physical presence. There is a reason this message found you during this phase of your life. Right now, you are standing at a point where clarity is needed, not confusion. Peace is needed, not overthinking. The connection being highlighted here is not meant to reopen wounds or bring sadness. It is meant to help you understand something about a person who still influences your heart, your choices, or your emotional space more than you realize. When someone from heaven reaches through memory and feeling, it is often because there is something unfinished, not unfinished in a dramatic way, but incomplete in understanding. It could be forgiveness that was never spoken, gratitude that was never expressed, or reassurance that was never received. These messages do not come to disturb your present, but to settle your inner world so you can move forward lighter, calmer, and stronger. You may feel drawn to listen without fully knowing why. That is okay. You do not need to force meaning or search for signs aggressively. This message is unfolding slowly, the way truth always does. Nothing here is demanding your belief. It is simply offering you space to listen with honesty and an open heart. The person connected to this message played a role in shaping who you are today, even if you no longer think about them consciously. As you continue listening, allow your breath to slow and your thoughts to soften. There is no rush to reach the end. Understanding comes layer by layer. This is not about urgency. It is about timing, and timing has already brought you here. Take this moment as an invitation to reflect, not react. To feel, not fear. To listen, not assume. What comes next will help you see this connection with clarity rather than emotion alone. As this message continues, it is important to slow down and truly notice what is happening inside you. Not outside, not in the world around you, but within your own awareness. When a connection from heaven gently reaches a heart on earth, it does not arrive with noise or urgency. It arrives as recognition. A quiet sense of familiarity. A feeling that says, this matters, even if you cannot yet explain why. You may have felt moments recently when your mind drifted toward a particular person without effort. Not because something reminded you externally, but because something inside you opened that door on its own. These moments are not accidents. They happen when the heart is ready to receive understanding rather than emotion. The soul does not speak in sentences. It speaks in impressions, memories, and feelings that come without invitation. The one connected to this message does not want to pull you backward into the past. Their presence is not here to hold you in sadness or longing. Instead, it is here to gently release something that has remained unresolved. Many people carry emotional weight without realizing where it came from. Sometimes that weight belongs to words never spoken, truths never shared, or love that was felt but never fully expressed. There are connections that continue beyond time, beyond distance, beyond physical life. These connections do not demand attention, they wait patiently until the moment is right. That moment is usually when a person has grown enough to understand without pain. You are in such a moment now. Stronger than before. Calmer than before. More capable of seeing clearly. This message is not about loss. It is about continuity. Love does not end when someone leaves this world. It changes form. It becomes guidance instead of presence. Comfort instead of conversation. Influence instead of instruction. The person connected to this message wants you to know that their role in your life did not end, it simply transformed. If you have ever felt protected during difficult times without knowing why, if you have ever sensed calm arriving suddenly in moments of confusion, that is not imagination. That is the echo of a bond that still exists. Not to control your life, but to support your growth. Not to interfere, but to reassure. There is also something important about the person still living who is connected to this message. Someone whose presence in your life feels complex. Someone you may think about more than you admit. This message is gently pointing your awareness toward clarity regarding that connection. Not to judge, not to decide immediately, but to understand more deeply. Understanding does not always ask for action. Sometimes it only asks for awareness. When awareness arrives, choices become lighter, and peace follows naturally. You are being guided toward that kind of peace. The kind that does not depend on outcomes, but on inner alignment. As you continue listening, allow your heart to stay open. Without expectation. There is no demand being placed on you. This is simply an invitation to listen carefully, to reflect honestly, and to allow truth to settle in its own time. The message is still unfolding. What comes next will bring gentle clarity, not pressure. Insight, not instruction. As this message continues, it moves deeper, not outward, but inward. This is the space where understanding begins to replace confusion. The kind of understanding that does not rush you toward conclusions, but slowly helps you see why certain emotions have stayed with you longer than expected. Some feelings linger not because they are unresolved, but because they are guiding you toward awareness you were not ready for before. There are moments when you may feel emotionally full without knowing why. Moments when your heart feels heavy yet calm at the same time. This is often the sign of a spiritual presence that is close but gentle, one that does not interrupt your thoughts, but quietly stands beside them. The one connected to this message does not wish to disturb your peace. They wish to strengthen it. This connection from heaven is not appearing to create urgency. It is appearing because the timing is aligned. There are seasons in life when growth happens quietly, almost invisibly. During these seasons, clarity arrives in subtle ways. Through reflection, through silence, through sudden understanding that feels natural rather than forced. You may have noticed that you are not the same person you were before. Certain reactions no longer come as quickly. Certain emotions no longer control you. This growth did not happen by accident. It happened because you were being supported even when you felt alone. Not every form of support is visible. Some of the strongest guidance comes in moments when you think you are guiding yourself. The person from heaven connected to this message wants you to know that they see your progress. They see the patience you have developed, the strength you have built quietly, and the wisdom you have gained through experience. This message is not about reminding you of the past, but acknowledging who you have become. There is also a reason why a specific person keeps appearing in your thoughts. Not constantly, but consistently. Not emotionally overwhelming, but noticeable. This does not mean you are meant to relive something old. It means you are meant to understand it differently now. Sometimes clarity comes not to reopen a chapter, but to finally close it with peace. Peace does not always arrive with answers. Often, it arrives with acceptance. Acceptance of what was, what is, and what no longer needs to be carried forward. This message is gently guiding you toward that acceptance. Not through explanation, but through awareness. As you listen, you may feel moments of stillness. Let them remain. Stillness is not emptiness, it is space. Space where truth settles without resistance. The message from heaven is using that space to help you release what no longer serves your journey, while strengthening what truly matters. You are not being watched. You are being accompanied. There is a difference. Watching creates pressure. Accompanying creates comfort. The presence connected to this message walks with you quietly, allowing you to make your own choices, while gently supporting your direction. The message is continuing to unfold because you are ready to understand it at a deeper level. Not emotionally, but spiritually. Not through reaction, but reflection. Remain open. Remain calm. The next part will help you recognize how this connection influences your future path, without forcing you to change anything before you are ready. As this message reaches its final depth, it is important to understand that nothing here is asking you to change suddenly. True spiritual understanding never demands instant action. It invites quiet recognition. What you are receiving now is not instruction, but reassurance that you are not disconnected from meaning, even during moments when life feels ordinary or unclear. The presence connected to this message is not focused on events, timelines, or outcomes. It is focused on your inner state. There is an awareness around you that understands your silence, your patience, and even your moments of uncertainty. None of those moments were wasted. They shaped your emotional maturity in ways that cannot always be explained, but can be deeply felt. There is a reason your thoughts have become more reflective over time. You no longer rush toward answers. You observe. You pause. You sense. This shift did not happen randomly. It happened because your inner world has grown stronger than your outer noise. The connection from heaven recognizes this growth and responds to it, not with demands, but with presence. The person tied to this message does not wish to interfere in your decisions. They respect your free will, your pace, and your journey. Their connection exists only to remind you that you are supported while you walk your path, not directed from above. Support is subtle. It shows up as emotional steadiness, inner resilience, and quiet confidence that you may not always notice, but others do. There may have been times when you questioned whether anyone truly understood you. Those moments were not signs of isolation, they were signs of depth. People who carry depth often walk alone internally, even when surrounded by others. This message honors that depth without asking you to explain it. As this message settles, you may feel a sense of grounding rather than excitement. That is intentional. Grounding is a sign of alignment. When something resonates at the soul level, it does not disturb, it stabilizes. It does not pull, it centers. What you are feeling now is the calm recognition that you are exactly where you need to be to understand this message. The person from heaven connected to this moment wants you to live fully, freely, and peacefully. Not bound by memory, regret, or unanswered questions. They are not holding on to you, you are carrying forward what they helped shape within you. Strength. Awareness. Compassion. Quiet courage. Nothing needs to be held tightly anymore. Whatever this message was meant to deliver has already reached you. Not through words alone, but through the way it made you pause, reflect, and breathe differently. That pause matters. Reflection matters. Peace matters. This is not an ending. It is a settling. Not a goodbye. A gentle presence. Not instruction. Understanding. Remain as you are. Continue your journey with the same calm awareness. The connection does not disappear, it simply becomes part of your inner strength. If you feel calm continuing, remain with this message. The next part will help you understand why this connection matters now, and how it supports your present path. If this message brought you peace or clarity, take a moment at the end to support the journey here. Like this video, share it with someone who may need comfort today, leave a comment with a word of gratitude or reflection, and subscribe to stay connected with more messages that bring calm, faith, and understanding.